just for the audience, it would be good for you to give them a synopsis and an overview of what C-Link does, who it's for, and how it works.
So the reason for C-Link coming, being developed as a business is I was sat in the pub where all good things happen with with a close friend of mine, someone who was also a QS and studied part time in the same way I did. He was working for a small main contractor on probably £1-2 million builds in central London. I was working on the larger projects, but we both had the problem that number one, the process of completing procurement in construction, didn't matter who you were, was far too paper based and needed to be automated. And number two, that we both felt, despite being in completely different sectors of construction, that we were unable to always have what we considered market intelligence on build costs. And what I mean by that is, I'm sure some of your listeners who have procured construction works, perhaps even yourself, Sam, will recognise the feeling of being in a position where you want to go ahead with the works. You initially had 3 or 4 prices, you now only have 1 or 2, and the reality being that you kind of have to make a decision which, because you want to get momentum, you want to get started.
Yeah.
You're making a decision based on the fact that, God, I've got to get started, rather than the fact that I absolutely understand the market. I understand the costs. I've got 3 or 4 of the perfect candidates to choose from. I'm going to interview them in the correct process, etc., etc. And I can then make a decision based on solid fact and not just my gut. And Chris and I were both working in the industry, totally different parts, as I said. And we were both experiencing that regularly, not always with main contractors, but more with subcontractors, so trades, so groundworks, electrical, so on. And what we have built with C-Link is not only a lot of automation and AI, so our software will read what is on construction drawings and break it into packages for you, allocating the correct documents to the correct packages, all boring QSy stuff, which I like, but not everyone else does. And then we've built this exclusive network really of approved contractors covering all trades in different areas and different specialties who then bid on the work, with the objective being that you are no longer in a position of only having 1 or 2 prices. You've got 5 prices on every package from people who we have vetted, who we vet during the tendering process, so we post-qualify them and make sure that they're tendering a way that is useful to our clients, but also that value engineer and will do a good job as well. So that is C-Link, and we're seeing really good growth, and where we're seeing growth is in an area which I didn't initially foresee happening. We initially thought it's going to be main contractors who are typically going to use this, construction companies, but we've found that more and more property developers who want more control, like I was saying before, are the ones who are saying, let me use C-Link, let me get an idea of the construction costs, and let me access this pool of contractors who are very good.